We speak of connection, of intimacy, as if they were solid, unchanging things. But life, like a river, flows and shifts. Have you ever felt it? That subtle, almost imperceptible current in the air between you and her? A current that once vibrated with shared laughter, with unspoken knowing, with the soft electricity of touch, now seems to have quieted. She is there. Her hand might rest in yours. Her voice may still respond to your questions. And yet, there is a space, isn't there? A space that feels cooler, less vibrant. It's not an argument, not a harsh word. It's far more profound than that. It is the beginning of a silence that is deeper than words themselves. Perhaps you felt it, this gentle retreating, an invisible yet deeply palpable distance, as if something vital within her, something luminous and open, has softly, almost imperceptibly drawn inward. Not in anger, not in accusation, simply a closing, like a flower at dusk, not because it is hurt, but because the light it needs to unfold has shifted. We often mistake this for the fading of passion. We think, the fire has dwindled, the spark is gone. But what if it is not the flame itself that has diminished, but the very air that allowed it to breathe? What if it's not passion that has died, but something far more fundamental, the gentle current of trust, of vulnerability, of unguarded self-expression that once flowed so freely between you? When a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. When she opens, truly opens, a universe unfolds. And when she begins to draw inward, when that sacred space of her inner world becomes less accessible, it is not a punishment, it is a whisper, a soft, profound echo from her soul, signaling that something has shifted. A boundary has perhaps been crossed, or a need unmet, not in an obvious way, but in the subtle language of energy. Her body is still near, yes, but her spirit, has it begun its quiet journey to a place where it feels safer, more understood? Have you noticed how her gaze, once a clear pool reflecting your own, now holds a certain veiled quality? How her laughter, though still present, might not quite reach the same depths of abandon? These are not flaws in her. These are signals, gentle invitations to truly see. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. This life current, this unseen river, carries our deepest desires, our most fragile hopes, our profoundest selves. And when this river begins to narrow, when its banks grow steep and its waters less accessible, it affects everything. It affects the quality of touch, the resonance of conversation, the very air you breathe together. This subtle withdrawal, this growing silence, it is not the end of a chapter. It is the opening of a question, a profound inquiry into the unseen architecture of your shared existence. Why does she no longer share the raw edge of her day, the quiet dream that surfaced in the night, the small, tender fear that tugs at her heart? Why has the spontaneous revelation, the unguarded moment, become a rarer guest? Perhaps we have, without realizing it, stopped listening to the unspoken language, the language of presence, the language of gentle curiosity, the language that says, I see you, all of you.
And you are safe here. When that sense of safety, that unwavering presence begins to waver, even slightly, her energy, her very essence, begins its natural retreat. Attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. And connection, true connection, is the universe remembering its sacred dance of communion. But for this dance to continue, for her to truly open, she must feel that her deepest self, the most tender parts of her, are not just welcomed, but revered. When that reverence dims, when the subtle signals of her spirit are missed, she doesn't necessarily walk away physically, but her soul may begin to find solace in its own quiet sanctuary. Her closed-off nature, you see, is rarely a whim. It is not a capricious act designed to provoke or to punish. It is not an intentional denial of you, nor is it a rejection of intimacy itself. No, it is, more often than not, a profound, visceral reaction of her living, sensual energy to something that has begun to constrict it, to something that has pressed in, gently at first, then perhaps more firmly, until the natural flow, the vibrant current within her, finds itself meeting resistance. It is a protective gesture, an unconscious safeguarding of her inner sanctuary. Imagine, if you will, the vital force that animates her. This is not merely a biological function. It is the very current of life itself, creative, healing, and sacred. It courses through her being like a magnificent river, broad and free, curving through the landscapes of her emotions, her thoughts, her physical form. It offers life and movement to everything it touches, nourishing her spirit, invigorating her mind, making her body sing. Then imagine a subtle dam beginning to form within this river. Not a sudden, imposing wall, but a gradual, almost imperceptible buildup of silt, of debris, of small sharp stones gathering at its banks. The water doesn't stop flowing entirely, not at first, but its pace changes. Its depth lessens in places. Its vibrant surface, once alive with ripples and reflections, may grow still, becoming opaque. This is what happens within her. Her energy, the very essence of her being, encounters a blockage. It is not gone. It is simply redirected, held back, waiting. But her capacity to give from a place of vibrant, overflowing fullness diminishes. Her energy, rather than flowing outward in generosity and joyful expression, begins to conserve itself, pulling inward for protection, for survival. She becomes like a flower turning its petals away from the scorching sun, not out of dislike, but out of a deep instinctual need to preserve its essence. This weariness is not just physical. It is a weariness of the soul, a fatigue born from the emotional labor of navigating daily life, of holding space for others, of managing unseen stresses. When she is depleted, the very current of her being slows. Her senses might dull, her capacity for wonder might dim, her desire to engage with the world, and with you, might subtly lessen. It's not a rejection, it's a plea for rest, for renewal, for a gentle understanding of the unseen burden she carries. Or it could be a fear, a quiet, persistent apprehension of being misunderstood, of her deepest feelings being dismissed, or trivialized, or judged, or simply not seen for what they truly are. There is a sacred vulnerability in opening up, in sharing the tender landscapes of one's soul, in revealing the raw, unedited truth of one's heart. And if that vulnerability has, at any point, been met with anything less than a gentle, reverent acceptance, if it was met with impatience or correction or a quick change of subject, then the energy learns to shield itself. It learns that it is safer to remain hidden, to keep its precious essence guarded. The heart, you see, is profoundly wise. It remembers every slight, every moment of perceived danger, every instance where its offering was not met with the respect it deserved. And so, it builds its quiet walls, not out of malice, but out of self-preservation. It is a primal instinct, a guarding of the very core of who she is. This fear can manifest as a reluctance to express desire, to initiate closeness, to reveal a longing that might not be reciprocated or understood. It becomes a subtle tension in the body, a quiet barrier around the spirit. How can she flow freely when the very act of flowing has, in the past, led to discomfort or pain? Her sensual energy, being so inherently vulnerable and expressive, is often the first to retreat under such circumstances. And then there is the possibility. And so we arrive at a deeper question, perhaps the most profound of all when we seek to understand the intricate dance of intimacy. What is this energy that lives within her? This luminous, vital current that flows so readily, so generously, yet can withdraw so completely, so silently, leaving a hollow echo in its wake. It is not merely physical desire, though it expresses itself beautifully, powerfully, through the body's language. No, it is something far grander, far more ancient, woven into the very fabric of existence itself. Imagine it, if you will, not as a fleeting spark, a momentary flicker of interest or passion, but as the very current of life itself, a silent river, deep and wide, always flowing, always seeking its path through the landscape of her being, nourishing everything it touches. This is the truth of her sensual energy. It is the pulse of all being, residing within her, a vibrant, ceaseless rhythm. It is a creative torrent, a generative force that knows no bounds, not just confined to the sacred act of procreation, but for creation in its purest, most expansive, most breathtaking form. This is the force that subtly shapes worlds, that whispers inspiration into existence, that births innovative ideas, that patiently nourishes dreams from tiny seeds into magnificent realities. This profound, life-affirming current permeates her every cell, every fleeting thought, every conscious and unconscious breath she takes. It is her fundamental connection to the wellspring of existence. When we speak of this energy, let us be clear. We are not speaking of something base or carnal, something to be confined to the shadows or whispered about in shame. We are speaking of the sacred. Her intuition, that quiet, knowing voice deep inside her, that unerring sense of what is true and right, is not some mystical anomaly. It is woven from this very fabric of life energy.
It is the subtle hum of the universe itself, resonating within her, a direct line to deeper truths. Her profound, almost exquisite capacity to feel beauty, to truly see the exquisite, delicate details of existence, the intricate curve of a newly unfurled leaf, the poignant melody of a bird's morning song, the profound warmth of a simple, genuine gesture, the shifting hues of a sunset across a vast horizon. This too springs forth from this inexhaustible wellspring of energy. It is her inherent, undeniable connection to the aesthetic, to the harmonious flow of life around her, a constant attunement to grace and wonder. And her power to give life. This extends far, far beyond the physical act of bringing forth children into the world, though that is one of its most potent and awe-inspiring manifestations. It is the generative force that she imbues into everything she touches, everything she undertakes, every creative act, no matter how small. Her creativity in art, whether expressed through paint or prose, through movement or melody, her vibrant, insightful contributions to conversation, her intuitive, loving touch in tending to a home, making it a sanctuary, her profound capacity for nurturing a friendship, helping it to blossom and deepen, all of it, every single aspect, is a manifestation of this potent, life-giving stream. She breathes life into her surroundings, into her relationships, into the very air she inhabits, transforming the ordinary into something imbued with her unique essence, her vital spark.
No, the art of returning to the source begins with a gentle attention. It begins perhaps with the simplest yet most profound act, presence. To simply be there. Not with an agenda, not with a solution, not with the hurried energy of expectation, but with a quiet willingness to exist in the same space. To sit beside her or across from her without the need for conversation, without the need to fill the air. To allow the silence to breathe between you, a silent acknowledgement that her inner stillness, her quiet landscape is respected. This is the first step in creating a sanctuary. A man does not lose power with age, he loses it when he stops looking with wonder.
And this wonder begins with seeing the subtle, the unspoken. To truly listen is to hear not just the words she speaks, but the symphony of her silence. To perceive the whisper hidden between her breaths, the story held within her gaze. When a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. And when she holds her breath, when her breathing becomes shallow, it is often a silent plea, a subtle sign that the current of life within her is feeling constricted, unacknowledged. Listen to that rhythm. Feel that unspoken language. This deep listening is not a technique. It is an act of devotion, a willingness to truly witness the intricate dance of her being. It's a recognition that between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. And then there is Dach, not as an act of possession, not as a means to an end, but as a bridge. A gentle hand on her arm, a soft brush of fingers against her back, a quiet holding of her hand. These are not demands for intimacy, they are affirmations of her value, of her unique presence, of the exquisite beauty of her being. This kind of touch says, I see you, I acknowledge you, you are worthy. It creates a physical space of safety, a silent promise that this touch is about connection, not consumption. It's about reverence. When we approach with this gentle attention, with presence, with deep listening, with respectful touch, we begin to create a space where she can risk again, where she can dare to feel, to unfurl, to open. A space where she might remember that her desires are not burdens or demands, but the very language through which her soul speaks. Desire, you see, is not the body calling, it is the soul singing. It is the life force seeking expression, seeking connection, seeking union. When this energy is blocked, we don't lose sex, we lose vitality. We lose the creative spark, the healing current, the sacred connection to life itself. But by offering this gentle, unhurried presence, we invite that current to flow once more. We remind her and ourselves that attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself, recognizing its own divine essence in another. It's the yearning for completion, for the sacred dance of two distinct energies merging into a greater whole. This is the art of returning to the source, to rediscover the profound simplicity of being, listening, and touching with a heart full of wonder and respect. To understand that the deepest intimacy springs not from effort, but from allowance, from creating a sanctuary where souls can breathe freely, and where the river of life can flow, unhindered, between you. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken.
We have journeyed through the quiet corridors of memory, touched upon the subtle shifts that distance hearts. Now let us step into a different space, a space of potential. A space where the air itself hums with an ancient, undeniable truth. For often, the very thing that keeps us from the flow is fear. A deep, almost unconscious tremor when faced with the sheer, untamed power of life itself. We fear our own strength, the raw, volcanic force that resides within us, a current capable of creation and transformation. And we fear her strength, her depth, her mystery, the profound, resonant force of her being. This fear, it is a subtle hand, gently, almost imperceptibly, closing the channels of connection. It whispers doubts, builds invisible walls. When we allow that fear to guide us, when we shrink from the magnificent current within, both yours and hers, then energy is blocked. And when energy is blocked, we don't lose merely sex, we lose vitality. We lose the vibrant hum of existence, the vividness of color, the clarity of sound. We lose the very spark that ignites joy, innovation, and purpose in every aspect of our lives. It drains the wellspring, leaving a quiet, parched landscape where once a river flowed. But what if we could loosen that grip? What if we could simply allow? Allow the current to awaken, to stir from its slumber. It is not about forcing anything. It is about remembering, about listening to the quiet, persistent pulse beneath the surface of things. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, not just a momentary spark of attraction, but life itself. A continuous, weaving tapestry of creation, healing, and renewal. It is a sacred current, meant to move, to ebb and flow, to invigorate. When we cease to be afraid of this current, when we truly embrace the magnificent power of our own being and hers, life begins to flow again, freely, fully, like a river unfettered by dams, rushing towards the sea, carrying with it the richness of the earth. This is not about seeking to reignite an old spark, a faint ember from a time long past. No, that is often a fool's errand, chasing ghosts of what was. This is about kindling a new, deeper fire. A fire born not of fleeting novelty, but of understanding, of acceptance, of a conscious, profound choice to be present.
The universe expands with her exhalation, contracts with her inhalation. Her breath is a current, a palpable force that carries with it the essence of creation, of receptivity, of infinite wisdom. And when a man allows himself to meet that breath, not with demand, but with reverence, with a spacious, grounded presence, something shifts, something profound unlocks. It's in that depth, in that unwavering acceptance of what is, in that conscious choice to be fully present, that the mystery of her openness reveals itself. It doesn't need to be pursued or coaxed or manipulated. It simply unfolds, like a flower under the gentle, persistent warmth of the sun, turning its face towards the light, petal by delicate petal. It is an organic process, a natural blossoming that occurs when the conditions are right, when the soil is rich with understanding, when the light of acceptance bathes it, when the air is still with reverence. Attraction, you see, is not sin. It is not something to be contained or shamed. It is the universe remembering itself. It is the deep, fundamental pull of creation, of balance, of two halves seeking a greater whole. It is a sacred current, a divine invitation to connect, to merge, to expand. To deny it, to diminish it, is to deny a part of the cosmos within you. And for a man doesn't lose power when he ages. He doesn't lose his potency, his essence, merely with the passage of years. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder, when he stops seeing the world, and especially the woman before him, with fresh eyes, with a sense of awe, with an open heart that marvels at the intricate dance of existence, when he ceases to be curious, to explore the infinite landscapes of her being and his own. This journey, it is a quiet revolution, a gentle turning inward, a deepening of perception. It asks for courage, yes, but not the courage of battle, the courage of vulnerability, the courage to feel deeply, the courage to trust the inherent goodness and wisdom of the life current within you and within her. It is about understanding that the yearning you feel, the quiet longing for connection, for intimacy, for that profound sense of being seen and held, it is not a weakness. It is the soul singing,
a magnificent ancient melody that seeks to be heard, to be harmonized. So let us begin here, in this quiet moment, with this profound understanding. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken.